What is going on, everybody? This is your host, Rob, back with another episode of From My Experience podcast. Yeah, we posting late, but y'all got it, so be quiet and be happy. I'm solo dolo, but I got a lot to talk about. Not gonna take too long, but I got a lot to talk about. What a contradiction. Yo, man, this this move has been very interesting, very inspiring, and I've actually gained a newfound appreciation for life. So that may sound cliche to some of y'all. Some of y'all probably hear that from people all the time, and they turn around and do the same things. But I truly believe sometimes God just sends people your way or puts things in your path for you to take a look at. You know what I'm saying? And then you evaluate them and you look at your life and what you're doing, and you instantly become, more humble, more appreciative, and more understanding of certain situations, man. Just a lot has happened. I'm gonna go into some details, but first I want to give a huge shout out to the HBCU podcast. If you are not following the HBCU podcast, go follow them right now. My homegirl Natasha Carter and Tommy run that joint. It's a great podcast. I was actually just on there. That episode will probably air sometime next month, maybe later. If y'all don't know, us podcasters, we like to stack shows sometimes. So, but I was on there, so whatever I say is gonna be timeless anyway. You know what I'm saying? But back to what I was talking about. So a couple of things have happened. You know, I have grown. So I don't do this often, and I'm not gonna do this often. But I'm gonna tell you about something that happened with me and my girlfriend. So I live closer to her now, and I went over one night, and I'm not gonna say we got into it, but I kind of got under her skin. I got under her skin about something. Um, Long story, and it was over something stupid. But long story short, I contradicted myself. Um, you know how you say, like, let's say I tell you, dog, I hate when people smack when they chewing their food, and then we go out to eat, and I smack when I chew my food. Like, it was kind of like one of those situations. But I was playing, but she read me wrong, and then I did something she didn't like. Then she did something I didn't like. But by then I'd pissed her off. So I could tell she was pissed off. So I chilled. But she remained pissed off for the rest of the night. And I didn't know why she was pissed off. I thought I was over it. Like, I was laughing about it in my head. But then, later in the evening, I realized, oh, you you still mad. Like, you're not even okay. So it upset me. It made me very disappointed. I didn't sleep well. And the next day I woke up before her, and I had quite a few thoughts. One was to basically, because I have some stuff over there, I was just going to pack up all my stuff because I just felt uncomfortable. Like, when someone makes me uncomfortable like that, like, I don't go anywhere I'm not comfortable. So I packed some of my stuff up, or more of my stuff up. In my head, I'm thinking, yeah, when she see I pack my stuff up, she can be like, why are you leaving? Blah, blah, blah. And I stopped and I said to myself, are you mad? The answer was no. And I said, is this the best decision for you to make right now? And the answer I said to myself was no. And I immediately prayed about it. I prayed a couple times because I felt away. Because she felt the way but wasn't communicating. So I said to myself, by packing my stuff up and leaving, not that we don't live together or anything like that, but just by packing my stuff up, what kind of message am I sending? I'm doing exactly what she did to upset me, which is not communicate. And I said, beyond that, this is, my baby. I love this woman. So how do I need to treat her? Regardless of what's going on, it's okay to be upset and blow off steam. I understand that. But regardless of what's going on, if it ain't major, that's my lady. So I prayed about it and I unpacked my stuff. She's sleeping, by the way, so she don't know any of this is going on. And I prayed about it some more, and I thought about, how lucky I was, well, how lucky we were to even have each other, because we treat each other well and we do a lot for each other, So I was really proud of myself, for one, because I could tell that there was a lot of growth there. And two, I was proud of myself for not sabotaging my relationship. Because what that would have done if I would have packed my stuff up, which is basically kind of like almost tit for tat, or like, probably I don't know, maybe in my opinion a bit extreme. But what kind of message does it send? And what I would have been doing, in my opinion, would be escalating the situation, because it wasn't a big deal to me at the time. But by me taking those steps and pushing her a little bit further away, and repositioning myself in our relationship, I would have escalated the situation, which is what I felt like she did. So I'm like, okay, if you're upset because you felt like she escalated it by still being upset, why are you going to turn around and do the same thing? Like, you already messed up once. Clearly you messed up once somewhere down the line. Don't make it worse. Now, that, in layman's terms, ladies and gentlemen, is called, not necessarily, but it's called being a bigger person. I wasn't being a bigger person because she wasn't really being a little person. She was just feeling how she felt, and I just didn't know why. But in a sense, that was being a bigger person. Would we have gotten over it? Would we have gotten past it? Had I taken the action that I wanted to take anyway? Probably. Not gonna lie. Probably would have been fine. But I think the message I sent to her by not doing that, and us getting together later that evening when I got off work and communicating, I let her say everything she needed to say and express herself and express how she felt. She let me do the exact same thing. We apologized. We made up. And I told her everything that I'm telling y'all now. I told her, I said, hey, I packed my stuff up. This is what I was thinking about doing. Like, this is how I felt, like everything. So she would know, because sometimes we try to hold people accountable for our feelings, but we don't ever tell them how we feeling. Not really. Nah, I'm all right. I'm cool. Nah, it's not a big deal. No, it is a big deal. If you didn't sleep well last night, if you thought about doing something that may have, hurt that person's feelings or something, you need to let them know, hey, when you act like this, this is how you make me want to react. So that made me more mindful of what I say, how it, how I come across, and how, I need to take the time to learn her more, and she needs to take the time to learn me more. It was a great learning experience for both of us. And, it was from the jump, it wasn't a big deal. It wasn't like, oh my gosh, I'm breaking up with you. And like I said, it was over something very stupid. But we're better for it now. So I say that to say this. Know and understand what's important. I prayed for a great woman, a wonderful woman that I could love, that I could trust, that would be my partner, that would have my back. And I believe that's what God has truly given me. So that doesn't mean it's going to be wrapped up in a perfect little bundle and everything's going to be hunky-dory all the time. No, it is not. But that doesn't, just because things don't quote unquote go right or go well or go my way, or I may be upset for a little second, doesn't mean you throw it all away. Doesn't mean you doubt it. Doesn't mean you question it. You got to work through stuff. And like I said, this was like minor, like tiny. On a scale to 1 to 10, this was like a -2. It was just a moment. So for those of you out there who may be in a situation or going through something, I really want you to think about that. Think about your actions, Granted, you can't tell someone how to react to something. People going to react to how they react. They're going to react the way they react. So it's like, you can't control that. But what you can control is what you do. You can't always worry about what the other person is going to do, going to say, going to think. But you can always be true to yourself, you know, and we both were in that situation. And I'm glad for it. We learned more about each other. We grew. Moving on. So by the way, that next morning, when she got up, I hugged her like it was gonna be the last time I was gonna see her. Like, gave her a super strong hug and gave her good morning message and told her I loved her and all that good stuff. Just regular routine. Cause I'm like this. Even if I was still mad, and this is something I've learned from my father. Even if I was still mad the next day, I don't think that means I need to be less of a boyfriend to her or less of a man. Why should I give you... Now, if it was something major like that we need to talk about, and, you know, maybe something like, oh my God, like you cheated on me, we might need to break up, something crazy, okay. But we're talking about under normal circumstances, you shouldn't get you shouldn't get less than just because there's a thing that's not major. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you buy your girl, I don't know, if you buy your girl an egg McMuffin every morning, or you get up and you always scramble her an egg and make her some toast with bacon, and y'all have a little tiff, a little tiny tiff, not even really a tiff, just a moment, and that stops you from waking up and doing that for her, something's wrong, dog. To me, something's really wrong. Because instead of opening your mouth and saying, hey, I felt this way, well, I'm going to just let my actions speak. Okay, you let your actions speak. What kind of message are you sending? Hey, every time I don't get my way, or every time I'm upset, I'm not going to be there for you. I'm not going to treat you the same. Is that right? For some people, they may feel like it is. For me, I don't think it is. Again, that depends on what actually, quote unquote, happened. But I digress. So I don't put all my business out there. Anyway, I felt really good about it, especially since some other things have happened lately. I have had some people close to me who have been having health issues. I've had people close to me who have been having financial issues, dealing with depression and anxiety and things of that nature, and not comparing my situation to theirs, but I don't have those problems, and I'm thankful, and I'm praying for them. Life is too short to be focused and thinking about that BS. I at my current job now, which I'm not really gonna say, won't be there much longer anyway. This one really kind of almost brought me to tears, man. It just makes me glad to have the people that I have in my life, and it makes me glad to have the personality and a temperament that I have in my life. I'm very calm, cool, and collected, and I really want the best from my friendships and my relationships. I want the best. I want more good times than bad times. I want as little drama as possible, even if that means I have to, quote unquote, take the L. You know, even if I have to deal with a little bit more BS than I probably would like to. If that means I take this little L, but we can have much more good times, or many more good times, I'll take it. I'll hold it to the chest. That's fine. I have a tolerance level though. But I was checking in a customer at my job, and you know, I made a joke. I said, man, it's hot out here, because it was hot. It's not as hot where I am now versus where I was in South Carolina. But, you know, he said, oh, and he had on jeans and he had on a sport coat. He's like, oh, well, I'm from Africa, Sierra Leone. I said, oh. I said, well, I'm not going to talk to you about heat. So we had a good laugh. And I said, hey, you know, hey, how was your trip and everything? And, you know, he said, well, unfortunately, you know, I had to come to the States to bury my son. Now, this guy probably was Man, this guy probably, he couldn't have been maybe 5 or 6 more years older than me. He didn't look that much older than me. Maybe he was. But that, when he said that, that struck a nerve with me, man. I'm like, dang, no parent wants to outlive their kid. That I know for a fact. So that struck a nerve for me, man. I almost wanted to just hug him, man. But I mean, dude, I just seen you for the first time in my life. I'm at a new job. Like, I don't want, I just, my human side really wanted to just hug him. But he said it's God's will. He said he was only 15, had his whole life ahead of him, but it's God's will. And, excuse me, I gotta sneeze. Ooh, I muted the mic. No raw and uncut tonight. But he said it's God's will, So like, when stuff like that happens and when you see, like, it's not like when you see it on Instagram, when you see it on Twitter, when you see it on Facebook, we're kind of desensitized. Like, I see so many headlines about young kids dying and stuff like that. Like, unfortunately, it's so common. They're so exposed. I don't even click on them anymore because, like, I don't want to be depressed. But when you're standing in front of someone and you can see the look in their eye and you can hear the tremble in their voice and you can tell that this person just took a loss, that's some next level stuff, man. And I prayed for him. That has to be hard to travel, halfway across the world. Not really halfway across the world, but you know what I mean? Travel all this way to bury your child. And then you got to fly back home. So you can't even visit his grave like you want. Like, just so many things, man. And once again, that brings me back to why I try to be the way I am when it comes to situations with friends, family, whoever, man. Whatever the situation is. You don't know what could happen tomorrow. And things could always be a hell of a lot worse. Hell of a lot worse. So that is not always comforting. It could be a lot worse, yeah, but it could be a lot better too. That, the whole a lot worse thing is not the be all end all. But I try to put that at the forefront of my mind when I'm going through BS, when I'm feeling some type of way, when I feel like I'm losing instead of winning. Like, since I've been here, I think I said it on the last podcast, I don't remember. My car has gotten towed twice. I've had a flat tire. I missed my very first day at my new job. My new job is actually stressful and not going the way that I think it should go. Due to my background and me knowing what I know about careers and training. And I miss my nephew. If you follow me on Instagram, I got a cute little nephew and I can't see him like I want to. And these are the most important years when they're young coming up. So there's definitely some things on my mind. I'm probably gonna miss homecoming, and that's my social event of the year. Like, that is my Jamaica. That is my whatever you want to call it. That's like my yearly thing. I'm probably gonna miss that this year, so I'm gonna miss seeing my frat brothers, but some of them live up here, so I'll get to hang with them. So just, there's been a lot on my mind, man. It's been a month. All this has happened in a month. So if you're one of those people who's out there transitioning into something new in your life, feeling away possibly, understand that you're not alone. Understand that things get tough sometimes. And understand that you are right where you're supposed to be. I know, I hate that phrase too, but you are. I wish I had, the wife, the car, the house, the kids, the investment properties, all those wonderful shiny things around the house. By the age I am now, yeah, thought I would have had it. Are you kidding me? Come on. So, when I feel that way, I have to reflect and I have to look at what's going on around me, and I have to be thankful for what I do have and what is going on and where I currently am. The glass is always half full, and the glass is always half empty. I'm gonna say that one more again. Y'all didn't catch that. That's all right though. I got you. If you take a glass and you fill it up halfway with some liquid, that glass is half full and it is half empty. It's both. Right? So the question is, what you gonna focus on? You gonna focus on the half that's empty? So you gonna focus on what you don't have? Or are you gonna focus on what you do have and make the best of that and make the best use of that? Now I'm gonna flip this one on y'all. In that, I think at certain times in your life, you got to do both. Ooh. Oh, sorry, I'm leaning on my shoulder. Ooh. Ooh. So what you mean, Rob? What you mean? Why would I focus on the glass being half empty? Because sometimes looking at what you don't have can make you go get it. So let me give you an example. Let's say I'm stranded in the desert and I got a little canteen. My canteen is clear, but it's only half full of water. This is where this mentality can come in. So I'm looking at the canteen and I'm like, dang, all right, I got half. Let's say half. Let's say it's 2 liters. I got 1 liter of water. So if I focus on what I do have, I'm thinking about how I can ration it, how I can keep it safe and protected. Am I going to cook with some of it? How am I going to utilize how am I going to make the best of what I have? Okay? And that's something that's going to be important, because if you're stranded somewhere and you know how much water you have, because we all need water, it lets you focus on, okay, let me make the best out of this situation. Okay? Let me make the best out of what I have. Now, let me take the other approach. Dang, okay. I have a 2 liter canteen of water. I only have 1 liter. All right, what am I going to do about this other liter? Okay, clearly this container can hold another liter. So what are some other water sources? How can I fill this up? Where can I fill it up at? Let me find a river. Let me find a lake. Let me find a stream. Let me find a supply of water so I can fill this up, so I can increase my chances of survival. Let me get to work. Since I don't have this and I know I want this or I need this, let me go get it. That's how you flip that around. Versus, I only got 1 liter and it takes 2 liters a day for somebody to live. Oh God, it's over for me. I only got 1 liter. Even if I drink this or, try to stretch this water, it still ain't enough because I don't have the other liter. I only got 1. That's the wrong mentality to have. So that's the negative side of, the glass is half empty or the glass is half full. That's the negative side. You focusing on it being half empty and you're being upset and sad about it being half empty. No, don't be upset and sad about it. What you gonna do to fix it? What plan are you gonna put into motion to fix it? What you gonna do to fill the other half of that canteen? You need another liter to survive. Where you gonna go get that liter from? Because I'm gonna tell y'all now, I'm looking at my half empty right now. Number one, I'm appreciating my half full right now. Close to my lovely lady. Haven't had to use my car in a month. Got some loving and caring family members that have taken me in. I'm in a great, peaceful environment, new environment, great weather. I'm just so good. Great food, great entertainment. I'm just in a whole new environment, man, and I'm loving the vibes. Now that empty half, oh, I'm attacking my debt this year. I've been posting on social media. Your boy's trying to be debt free by the end of the year. Well, mostly debt free. I ain't got 70 grand for my student loans, but your boy's trying to be debt free. So instead of sitting around and saying, "Oh, I got this and I gotta pay this," okay, I need some more money. Who else is hiring? Let me get job number 2 so I can get my little 15, 20 hours a week so I can knock this out quicker. Or let me find another real estate property that I can, a buyer or seller I can refer. Or let me get out here and hustle and do some more DJ gigs. Or who can I link up with that I know that's about their business, so we can put an event together. That's what I'm trying to be on. So my question to you that's listening, where you at? What are you focused on? What are you doing? Who you talking to every day? Are you making the best of the half that you do have? And what are you doing about the half that you don't have? Exactly. That's all I got for y'all, man. Shout out to my accountability partners, Russ, CV. I see y'all. I need to hit y'all up. Shout out to my co-host, Alex. Alex, stay up, man. Do the right thing. You be safe. Shout out to Tori. Love you, Tori. Know you going through a lot, but we still love you over here. Shout out to you, Biff. You going through a lot too. Love you too. Life happens, man. Straight up and down, life happens. You just got to work through things sometimes. We all go through it, y'all. I promise you, we all go through it. But sometimes you got to take a step back and look at things differently. Look at it from the left, look at it from the right, look at it from the top, look at it from the bottom. Hell, look at it from the side. Stand on your head and look at it. There's always a different point of view that you can take on things. Anyway, y'all can check us out on Instagram, FME_podcast, on Facebook, From My Experience Podcast. Tell a friend about us, man. And please, please, please tell a friend about us. Also, join the Facebook group. My Facebook group, it's very lively. We post often, and we create some great discussions. Also, shout out to everyone out there doing their entrepreneurship thing or entrepreneurial thing, however you say these things. Shout out to all of y'all. I really appreciate y'all. Y'all motivate me to go out there and do stuff. I'm thinking about doing something, but I don't know yet. I don't know. So that's all I got. If y'all have a topic or if you want to be a guest, you can hit us up from myexperiencepodcast@gmail.com. That email will come directly to my phone. I'll check it and I will holla at you. We do have a couple guests lined up. I'm working on getting them scheduled because we're going to adjust our recording schedule. So once we get that set, we'll be on and popping like we were before. And I want to tell y'all, thank you to everyone who continues to listen. I can't even remember how long we've been doing this, how many years. But this is my therapy. This is my feel good vibe. This is my reflection. This is my peace. Like, I love this podcast. I'm probably going to do it forever. I don't see myself stopping. I don't see a reason for stopping because our conversations are always going to be relevant and our conversations are always going to be timeless. Who doesn't want to hear about life? Who doesn't want to be motivated? Who doesn't want to see things differently? Who doesn't want to find a way out of their current situation? I know I do. But anyway, thank y'all once again. And if you're a new listener, do yourself a favor, man. Go back and listen to some of the older episodes. They're funny. I promise you they're funny. And they're not, a majority of them aren't dated. Yeah, we talked about some pop culture stuff and some of the old ones, but most of them are kind of like this. conversational about, real things that people go through. Hence the name From My Experience Podcast. Anyway, we will catch y'all next time. Peace.